One district attorney is taking a whole different look, a hard line, you might say, by calling for a national response to violence in our cities. Jason Williams, district attorney in New Orleans, is with us now. Mr. District Attorney, we appreciate you joining us, sir. Tell us what your plan is and how it's working in New Orleans.
Well, we are being smart on crime. A lot of times people talk about whether you're tough on crime, soft on crime. We all need to be smart on crime. And that's not progressive or traditional. That's not left or right or Republican or Democrat. Everyone can agree murder, rape, and armed robbery need to be attacked aggressively with constitutional policing and prosecuting. And so we've ramped up in a lot of unique ways. We are using social media, open source data. We've contracted with a group called Bancroft that is using open source data to look at the threats that people are making to other people and the bragging that's occurring on social media to help us solve crime using CCTV, real-time camera center footage, license plate readers, and funneling all of that into an elite homicide unit that's focused on bringing these numbers down.
You say everyone should be in on this, but not everybody is. I think about stories we've covered in Chicago and New York and Los Angeles and Philadelphia who don't necessarily agree with the policies you're putting up. New Orleans crime statistics: business burglaries up 34%, auto theft 160%, 167%, total crime up 9%. How long is it going to take to turn this trend around?
We're looking at this year. We're trying to get it done in this year, and that's why we're being as aggressive as we are. And look, this is not about upending the Constitution. This is not switching to a broken windows theory about putting more people in jail for low-level nonviolent offenses for the sake of numbers. This is about focusing in like a laser on people that are hurting people in this community and repeat offenders. And I think we can turn it around in very, very short order. But that means we cannot try to prosecute our way for every type of crime. There's some things that can be dealt with in a lot of different ways. Diversion can be helpful.
I hear you, and it's refreshing to hear someone talk like this, and I mean that genuinely. What I'm wondering is, it seems so obvious when you say it and you speak so bluntly and forcefully about it, but we know in a lot of these cities with massive crime rates, Chicago, I'm thinking, DC, where carjackings are way up, the prosecutors don't talk like this. Is there something that you understand that they don't?
Well, we don't have the luxury of time here in New Orleans. When you look at the murder rate being what it is, we don't have the luxury of using traditional strategies to get us out of it. But I want to be very clear. Violence has become a uniquely American pandemic. Urban settings, rural settings, Uvalde, Nashville, Midtown Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, Cleveland, Texas. It's at an all-time high. And so we're also talking about prevention, policing, and prosecuting. Now, I'm focused on the prosecuting, but I'm well aware that the level of violence in our homes, child abuse numbers are high, domestic abuse numbers are very high, and that's where people are learning violence. That's where people are learning how they're treating people. So we're also doubling down on our efforts on the violence in homes against intimate partners and children.
It's a great point, and you know this better than most about who's dying on the streets of New Orleans, and that you're there to protect them. Mr. Williams, it's a pleasure to have you, sir. Thank you. I know you'll be back. We appreciate the time.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for your interest.